Hi, in this lecture, I am going to compare and contrast the while loop versus the for loop. You have seen both while loop and for loop in action now. The while loop, the way the while loop works, while some condition, it will repeat the statement as long as the condition is true. While loop is a condition control. While loop continue as long as the condition is true, and it is a pre-test loop because we test the condition in the beginning of the loop. As you can see in this flowchart, while some condition, if the condition is true, do something. And then it will go back to the beginning and check the condition again. If the condition is false, then you get out. If the condition is true, then you keep doing something. For example, while staying, keep washing until you clean. For loop, we have seen and used for loop in the context of for iterator in some sequence. The sequence can be a range for num in range 10, for example, for item in list of items, for char in some string value. For loop is what we call count control loop because we know exactly how many iterations the loop will do. And for loop is also a pretest loop. In a for loop, for iterator in something, if there's still something left in that container, then do something and go back and check any more item left. If not, then you end. For I in range 10, this for loop it will um, print I 10 times. It will print 0 to 9, 10 statement. So while and for, while loop is a condition control, it's a pretest loop. It gives more control to user. It may result in a infinite loop if the while condition remain unchanged. For loop is a count control loop, so it will use it in a place where you know exactly how many times to iterate. It's a pretest loop, less control the user, but it's simpler to use. Let's look at a couple examples to see which one you will use for the loop. You have played this game before. Guess my number. User keep guessing until they guess the secret number or call uncle by entering -1. Now, you do not know how many guesses it will take. You might be lucky, the first guess is right, or it might take you like few dozen times. So in this case, it will be best to implement using while loop. It depends on the condition whether you guess it right, and we do not know how many times it will take you to guess it. And here is a program. I am using the random.randint to generate a random number between 1 to 100 inclusive. And I set guess to 0, and while guess not equal to -1, -1 is require uncle, and guess is not equal to secret number, because secret number is between 1 to 100. When I set guess to 0, the initial condition will be true. So I will get into the loop and prompt user for their guess. If the guess equal to secret number, then I guess the number right. Else if I gave up, then I print it give up already. Else I just give a message as in the retry. So let's see how this works, shall we? I have this program already, so let's go to repel it, and I'm gonna paste it in. And let's run this. So I'm guessing 60. Seeing it doesn't give me any hint, that really nothing I can do. -1 to giving up. Since the guessing game doesn't give me any hint, high or lower, I just randomly guess it. But it might take you 100 guesses to get it right, or just one guess. Um, you can try this program at home and see how many guesses that you can do. How about this one? Replace all the vowels with symbol in a phrase. Check each character in the phrase, and if a vowel, replace it with a corresponding symbol. A to the at, E to the hash, I to the exponential point, O to the ampersand, and U to the asterisk. Because given the phrase, you know exactly how many characters in the phrase. So in this case, you were using for loop. And here's a function. I prompt user to enter a sentence, and I will replace the character, the vowel with the corresponding symbol. Now, I snuck in a couple pattern here. This is a accumulator pattern for a string. Do you recall for the number we set total to 0 and then increment total inside the loop? Well, for the string, instead of setting to a 0, I set to empty string, and inside the loop here, if I have a, then I say output equal to output plus the S sign. I add the S sign to it. If it's not vowel, I just add the character to it. This is just like adding number to your total. I'm appending a character to the string. And the upper is a character function that will convert the character into uppercase. Since the character could be uppercase or lowercase, I can convert that into uppercase or lower to uppercase to check. Otherwise, I would need to check whether uppercase A or lowercase a. But either case, I would replace with the S sign. And why don't we try to run this test in Repellent? So let's run it. Enter a phrase. This is a test. So the I become exponential point, A become an at, and E become a hash. Let me go back to the lecture. So definite loop is when you know exactly how many times a loop will execute. So typically in a for loop, you know exactly how many times it execute. Indefinite it is a loop. You do not know exactly how many times it will execute, but it will continue until user say to stop or continue become false. We have seen that with the guessing game. This is the indefinite loop. Infinite loop, no way provide to change the loop condition. The loop just kept going forever. Let's do a programming exercise. Write a function called length that take one parameter, a string. It returns the number of characters in the string. Do you know how many characters in the string? Well, given a string, there's a definite length of the string. So for this example, I will use for loop instead of while loop. So let me erase this thing here. So I want to write a function called length that take a string as input, and I want to find out how many characters in the string. I know that I need to go through a character like for char in string, but how do I count how many characters? What pattern can I use? Well, you should use your favorite pattern, the accumulator. Let's just say count equal to 0, and I can, for every character I look at in the string, I can increment the count. And when the loop finish, I can return the count. So for example, I can add for the length of this, or length of an empty string, and then run that. So this has 4 characters. Empty string has 0 character. Using a for loop and the accumulator pattern, I can count how many characters in a string.